What if I told you there's a civilization that grew abundant food where winter temperatures dropped to -40 degrees Celsius? Where frost arrived in August and didn't leave until May? The Vikings didn't just survive these conditions, they thrived. For over 500 years, Norse farmers fed families and built an empire in climates that would make modern farmers quit. Today, most Zone 3 gardeners believe growing food is nearly impossible, but 7 Viking techniques prove otherwise, and they work just as well today as they did in 900 AD. The year is 872 AD. Viking settlers land in Iceland. Summer temperatures barely reach 15 degrees. Winter brings 4 months of darkness and temperatures that freeze exposed skin in minutes. Modern experts would call this land unfarmable. Within 50 years, they're exporting food. By 1100, Iceland supports 70,000 people. No imports. Just 7 techniques that captured every advantage in an impossible climate. These methods work in zones 3 through 5 today across North America, Northern Europe, and high-altitude regions. Method number 1. Sunken Garden Beds. Vikings noticed something critical. Cold air sinks, warm air rises. On a calm night, the temperature at ground level versus 3 feet down differs by 6 to 8 degrees Celsius. So they dug. Viking gardens weren't raised beds. They were lowered 18 to 24 inches below ground. The excavated soil became berms on the north side as windbreaks. These sunken beds captured daytime heat and released it slowly through cold nights. Soil warmed faster in spring. Plants stayed protected from late frosts that killed everything at ground level. Modern Zone 3 gardeners spend hundreds on row covers. Vikings just dug holes. Excavate beds 18 inches deep. Pile soil on north and west sides. Plant in the depression. Your microclimate just gained 2 weeks on each end of the season. In Zone 3, that's the difference between harvest and nothing. Method number 2. Stone heat batteries. Vikings built low stone walls around gardens for thermal mass. Stone absorbs heat during the day and radiates it at night. A properly placed stone wall keeps a garden bed 5 to 8 degrees warmer through the night. They used volcanic rock in Iceland. Slate in Norway. Any dense stone works. Position stones on the south side for maximum sun. Those stones become heaters after sunset. Modern application is simple. Collect stones 4 to 8 inches in diameter. Stack them south side of beds. Paint them black to increase absorption. During cold snaps, these stones mean the difference between harvest and frost kill. Zone 3 gardens extend their season by 3 to 4 weeks just by adding stones. No electricity, no maintenance. Just physics. Vikings understood 1,000 years ago. Method number 3. Seaweed and fish fertilization. Viking coastal settlements had 2 resources modern gardeners pay premium prices for: kelp and fish waste. Seaweed contains over 60 trace minerals and breaks down quickly without burning plants. Vikings collected kelp after storms. Rain rinsed it to remove salt, then dug it directly into beds. Fish waste is nearly perfect fertilizer. High nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. Vikings composted fish heads and bones into garden beds every fall. By spring, complete breakdown into rich black soil. Abandoned Viking garden plots in Iceland still show darker, richer soil than surrounding land after 900 years. For inland Zone 3 gardeners, fish emulsion and kelp meal work. But whole materials are better. They create soil structure while feeding plants. Chemical fertilizers feed plants, but destroy soil. Method number 4. Turf house microclimates. Vikings lived in turf houses with walls of stacked sod. These stayed warm inside even during brutal winters. South-facing walls became growing spaces. Vikings planted cold, hardy herbs directly into turf walls. Thyme, chives, sorrel. The living roof insulated while providing food. Wall gardens got reflected heat from interior, wind protection, and passive solar gain. Modern application doesn't require building a turf house. Lean-to cold frames against south walls work on the same principle. Even simple wall gardens against heated garages create microclimates extending your season by 6 to 8 weeks. Vikings grew fresh herbs year-round in climates where outdoor temperatures stayed below freezing for 6 months. Method number 5. Root cellar storage. Vikings understood something crucial. In Zone 3, you don't grow food year-round. You store it year-round. They built root cellars maintaining temperatures just above freezing through winter. These kept root vegetables fresh for 8 to 9 months. Carrots, beets, turnips, parsnips. All harvested in October, stored until June. The key was humidity and temperature control. Vikings used sand layers between vegetables for perfect moisture. They positioned cellars on north-facing slopes where permafrost kept temperatures stable. Modern replication is simple. Dig a pit 4 feet deep on north slope. Line with stones or wood. Cover with insulated lid. Store root vegetables in damp sand. Temperature stays between 0 and 4 degrees naturally. No electricity. This lets Zone 3 gardeners eat fresh vegetables until May, then harvest new crops in June. The hunger gap disappears. Method number 6. Short-season variety selection. Vikings didn't waste time on crops needing long seasons. They selected ruthlessly for speed. Their cabbages matured in 60 days, carrots in 55, turnips in 45. For 500 years, Viking farmers saved seeds only from plants that produced before first frost. This created varieties adapted specifically to Zones 3 and 4. Many still exist. Copenhagen market cabbage matures in 67 days. Early snowball cauliflower in 52. Hakurei turnips in 38. In Zone 3, you need varieties, bred for cold. The Vikings spent 5 centuries creating them. Look for anything labeled early, northern, or cold hardy. Method number 7. Deliberate frost use for flavor. Most gardeners see frost as the enemy. Vikings saw it as a tool. They discovered certain vegetables taste dramatically better after freezing. Kale, parsnips, Brussels sprouts, carrots. All develop sweeter, richer flavors when frosted. This happens because plants convert starches to sugars as natural antifreeze. Vikings planted these crops late in summer, specifically to harvest after frost. They left parsnips in ground through entire winters, harvesting in early spring. Those parsnips tasted like candy compared to fall harvest. Modern Zone 3 gardeners can use this deliberately. Plant kale in July. Don't harvest until after 3 hard frosts in October. The flavor transforms completely. Plant carrots in June. Leave them under heavy mulch all winter. Dig in March. They'll be the sweetest carrots you've ever tasted. Vikings understood that Zone 3's harsh climate wasn't just a challenge. It was an advantage. Here's what these 7 methods have in common. They work with Zone 3's natural conditions instead of fighting them. Sunken beds use cold air drainage. Stone walls capture limited sun. Seaweed builds soil that warms faster. Turf walls create passive solar heat. Root cellars use natural cold for storage. Short-season varieties match available time. And frost use creates flavors impossible in warmer zones. Modern cold climate gardening tries to recreate Zone 7 in Zone 3. That's expensive and exhausting. Viking methods accept Zone 3 for what it is and find advantages there. Less work, lower cost, and food that tastes better. You can start using these methods in any cold climate. Pick 2 or 3 from this list. If you're in zones 3 through 5, every technique will work. Dig sunken beds this fall for spring planting. Collect stones and position them before winter. Source kelp meal and fish emulsion for spring. Build a cold frame against a south wall. Dig a root cellar pit before ground freezes. Order short-season Viking-descended varieties for next year. And plant something this summer specifically to harvest after frost. The Vikings proved cold climates produce abundant food. Not despite the cold, because of it. These 7 methods are waiting in zones 3 through 5, easier to implement than fighting your climate. Your ancestors in cold regions used every one of these, not because they were old-fashioned, because they worked.